So now this is our layout. It's quite functional. It's responsive, so you can actually see as I grab my green screen, if I put them to 100, you can see the intensity
gotcha,
bar
with the little
on
bar.
the left side of the fixture there. Shows you the value. Our quick keys will give us 0 to 100. I'm going to now take us into the intensity menu, which allows us to manipulate on a channel by channel basis the individual intensity for that fixture. So here you're not going to see the channel numbers. You're going to see the name that we've given those channels. So if I want my green screen right, I can come here and see that it's at 38%, and then grab my green screen left and put it at 38%.
So this is basically the digital version of this.
It is. The difference
And not programmed
and
or
the
seeing all the
benefit.
things.
So if we move to fixture mode, so if I go to fixture mode, my faders are now remapped to my fixtures. The challenge, we have 20 faders and they are mapped to the channel number. So that's why we go 1, 3, 5, 7. If we go to our layout view, we have 1, 3, 5, 7, and then 11 and 13. Right? So the intensity menu here consolidates all of that down into the 20 faders that you need, because we only have 20 physical faders and there's no way to remap those assignments here.
Okay.
So individual control of these channels, this is the best way to do that. If you wanted to get both green screens selected here and then grab the fader on the side, you could do that so that they're both the same intensity. You probably don't need your green screen at different levels. So rather than trying to match them manually, then we could deselect our green screen, and then our desk back, right, and left. Maybe we bring those up to about 35%. Until that's looking the way we want on the backs. And then deselect and go to our key lights and pop those puppies up about 55%. And this is how we can control the intensity information for all of those on an individual or somewhat grouped level, depending on our selection here.
Okay.
If we go back to our home screen, we can actually now see the intensity fader has adjusted to show us digitally what's happening out in the real world. Position does not matter to your layout here. You do not have any moving lights. Same thing with beam. You don't have any fixtures that have digital
Like
beam parameters. Yeah, like zoom or shutters, anything like that. But color is going to become important for you. So we have nothing selected right now. We released our channel selections. If I go back to my home layout and select my backlights and go to my color parameters, here we can see we've got a couple of color palettes that we've created for 3200 and 5600K. So the default is 3200. If we click on the 5600K, we can see that the backlights changed to 56. If I wanted to adjust that manually, we have this color control that pops out. If you click the little arrow here or drag it out, you have these quick tools, 0, 50, or 100, or you can just start to manually drive that color temperature.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Yeah.
So this is how you would achieve
Between
that.
the two, between tungsten and daylight.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes. I think the low is 3200, the high is 56 on I think on all the fixtures in here.
Okay.
So you find that color temperature that you really like. Let's say you really like the way 3858 feels in most of your settings. So you've set that, you've got it captured here. Just like we did with our groups, in our color parameters, we can hit record and we can add a new color preset. And just like we did, we'll name it, you could call it desk back orange if you want, or you could call it 5628, if whatever we ended up with.
Yeah. Interesting.
But
I see, like CTO back or something.
CTO back, sure. CTO back.
Interesting.
All right, so now I have this color preset that I can apply quickly without having to go in and get that 2658 every single time manually.
Yeah. Cool. And again, to get there, we picked both of them.
We grabbed our group.
Not the group.
Either way,
Oh, okay.
as long as they're selected.
Okay.
Um,
If we push this guy,
Yep.
that would do it. Oh, I see. Gotcha. Okay.
And then
So
that's under
same thing.
color.
Yep.
And then you've got your
It's
color
already set up.
adjustment here.
Cool.
Or if you have built your presets, and you could go through and build them, for every 1,000 Kelvin, right? And
Yeah,
then have
yeah.
quick adjustment points to
Oh,
jump
cool.
to.
Neat. Awesome.
And that process holds true for all of the fixtures.
Okay.
I'm going to clear this.
Do all of the fixtures also have other color things? Like, it could be blue, it could be red, it could be green, it could be, do they have the colored gel factors as well?
The only fixture that has color changing capability in that way is your Lico.
Okay.
Right?
But all of these are 32 to 56.
Correct.
Okay.
Now what's great, so what we just did is we used the desk back fixtures to create that new color point. But because these are all the same type of fixture, if I grab my all fill lights, I'm gonna just turn them on to full in my studio set here. I'll go to my color, and if I hit my CTO back, it's actually going to apply that color temperature because it knows that it's the same type of fixture.
Cool.
So you only have to build the preset once, not for every single fixture.
It's whoever you bring up and then click the color
Correct.
adjustment. Gotcha.
Yep.
Cool. Neat.
So when I clear that out, it clears all of that manual values, everything goes black, and I'm going to go back to our home page. The last thing we'll do is we'll look at the color parameters for the color source fixture, which is our Lico. So I turn the Lico on to full, defaults to its version of white. We did calibrate this to, I believe everything comes on at 3200. Notice that I don't have a CTO back or a 56K because it's a different fixture type, right? But in my color window here, I have this great big color picker. So I could start very quickly. Oh, did we not set this one?
So your point is you can drag anywhere on that wheel, and that's what it should look like.
And it should change
Yeah, yeah.
colors. And you also have the color mix functions here. So you have hue and
Oh,
saturation.
gotcha. Cool.
So you can actually see it visually here. If I want it less saturated or roll my hue
Sure.
a little more pink, add a little more color. So there's three ways. You can use the color picker. You can use your wheels. You could go to your filters directly and put it in red.
Cool.
Or if you get really crazy and you want to just add a little bit of green to it, right, you have individual faders
Neat.
for all of that. The filter library is robust. It gets you pretty much everywhere that you need,
That's awesome.
which is why you don't need to make those presets for colors. You can. Let's say you have a really, cougar blue that you guys use all the time and you have mixed properly. You can, the same way we recorded the CTO back color, we would go in and say, all right, this is our cougar blue, and we would just record that as a new color preset for that
Gotcha.
fixture. I'm going to hit cancel, so we don't need to do that. Because this is a color changing fixture, you can actually see
Oh,
the channel
it has the
itself changes to represent that
Neat.
bluish purple color.
Mm-hmm.
When I hit clear, all of that manual turns off as we saw before. So this is manipulating and controlling our fixtures manually, right? It's always going to be your safest bet, right? You can always grab everything individually or in groups, set the individual colors or temperatures, and run your shoot. But recallability, right? We're talking about how to do things quickly, more efficiently, and over the course of a month, a year, whatever, you're going to have the same set, the same looks. So let's move into utilizing our faders in Q mode, which is going to be the mode you're going to want to use most frequently. In Q mode, what this allows us to do is these 20 faders now represent individual Qs, right? So Q1, Q2, Q3, all the way to Q20, which is a single state. You can record one fixture or one attribute or 50 fixtures and 50 attributes to that state. These are proportional faders, meaning if my level is, or my state is recorded with fixture 1 at full, when my fader goes to 0, it will be at 0. When it goes to full, it will be at full. If I record channel or fixture 1 at 50% in my Q, well, 0 is still 0, but now 100 is 50%. Right? So they are proportional. We recorded these for ease of use to be 0 to 100. Right?
Makes sense.
Now, that said, 3 right now is going to not work. And 13 is going to bring whatever is assigned to 3 up because the way that the hardware issue is right now. So I would recommend us building it the way we want, understanding that this isn't going to do anything right now, that we'll have to come in here to do this single fader. And then when we bring 13 up, we're going to see something funky happen with this hardware. But I think we should record it, save the file, and then we can make the adjustments to overcome that with the current hardware limitations. Maybe moving something.
Gotcha.
Or we could just know, I don't know. I could argue either way. We could skip this fader altogether right now and just shift everything over by 1. And then this is just going to be empty on your file in the future.
Do you know, are they replacing the board? Are they fixing the board? Like,
I
what's
don't know. I
the...
was going to send Shannon an email
Okay.
to talk to them.
I kind of feel like you should program them the way we want
The way
it.
we want it. I
And then-
agree.
And then we'll decide, and if they replace the board, we just plug it in and it works the way it's supposed to.
I agree.
So, but yes, we'll do a workaround.
Yeah, we can work through
temporary-
that.
Yeah, that we redo these 2 over to these empty ones or something like that.
So I'm in my intensity menu, and we're going to recreate this digital faders to our physical faders. So I'm just going to go one by one, grab that fixture, put it to 100%, record, and then I'm going to click on my button, and it's that simple. If I hit clear, I see the light turns off in the real world, and now when I bring my fader up, it controls that individual fixture.
You have to be in Q mode.
You want to be in Q mode, correct? Yes, so you want to be in Q mode.
Where does that appear? Where does it show? Okay, gotcha.
So you can see it here.
Yeah.
So we just recreate that over and over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, they all look.
And then your desk backlights, if we wanted to go and warm those up. I just went through that process you did before. So everything is set to 56 here.
Mm-hmm.
we went and I selected my desk backlights. I went to color and I put them in my CTO back preset that we did manually, but everything else remained in the daylight.
Gotcha. So while you have it set there, would you then create the next, like the desk everything fader and then the podcast everything fader? Is that what you were thinking of doing?
So if we clear everything out, what would you normally do for your desk? You would have all of your desk fixtures on, presumably in 56K. And then your backlights would go to our CTO back. Then I can record that to fader 19.
Okay.
So now when I clear everything out, I'm going to bring my daylight fader down entirely. I don't need that on anymore. Shouldn't need that on anymore. And when I bring up fader 19, that's my studio or my desk look, right? It's got everything. And if you go into like your intensity here, you can see all those fixtures are on, but maybe we need to bring that key light down a little bit. So you can select them there and start to bring that key light down until we're happy. Because those channels are already stored into this fader, we really like the way this looks now. We like it at this 55%. So we can record and click the button again, and it's going to say, do you want to overwrite that? And we can say, yes, I want to overwrite that fader. So when I bring this down and I bring it back up, now
You've got hundreds.
I've got 100, 100s, 55s. Okay. Because those channels were already recorded into that fader, when you overwrite it, turn it off, turn it on again, you've stored that new state. So you don't have to go manually adjust them in the future.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to do another one for the podcast here?
Yeah. So what would you normally do for...
Same thing, all podcasts up 100%. I mean, they're not really 100%, but that at least brings them all up.
Yeah.
And then it goes from there.
And then your backs would be in warmer color?
Yes. And they would actually be down significantly as well. They're I don't think I've ever used them at 100%.
Yeah, that's the warm back at 50.
No, that looks good.
Great. So then we'll make that fader 18. Record 18. And if I clear all that, there's your podcast.
Cool. Now, just out of curiosity, when you pull things down on everything and do either, what was it, 14 and 3 or 13 and 3, whichever the two funky ones are,
oh, yes.
What happens?
So,
just out of curiosity.
So if I bring 3 up right now, nothing happens.
So it's just broken.
If I bring 4 up, about halfway, 3 starts to turn on, ever so slightly.
That was the thing that you were saying, remember?
It's like ghosting.
It was just up just a little bit. It comes up just a few percentage points.
Yeah.
Well, and it also, remember when I was trying to turn everything off, a light, I would turn everything off and a light would come on when I would turn it off. It was just weird. And then
when you bring up 13, 3 turns on now. 13 is going to come on properly, but 3 is on. You can see it's ghosting over on the other set. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's flickering too, like it's not just sitting
it's
at a
jumping.
level too. It's just
Well, and that's why I turned the lights off, because it was hard to see with the house lights on of what was going on. So okay, so 3. And what's the other one? 13 is the other one. It's weird.
Yeah, 3 doesn't work. 4 has the little ghost in it, like the tiny ghost,
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to the little ghost.
Gotcha. And 13 does
Uh,
brings on something with.
13 brings up 3 to about 35%.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Well, what other things from a programming standpoint or a usage standpoint do you think would be helpful?
So let's look at your group faders.
Mhm.
So your group faders, reassign your faders to your groups in the numbers they're assigned. So remember, we have our channel or fixture numbers that's in the white here, but the black boxes show us the group number.
Mm-hmm.
So group 1 is all of our lights,
Oh, gotcha.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Group 2 is just our LECO.
Mm-hmm.
Then group 3 is not going to work, but would be our studio or our podcast backlights,
Mm-hmm.
our podcast key lights.
Mhm.
Pay no attention to the ghost.
Mm-hmm.
5 is the podcast fill.
Mm-hmm.
6 is the left chair. 7 is the right chair.
Gotcha.
8 is our green screen.
Mm-hmm.
9 is our desk backlights. 10 is our desk key lights. 11 is our desk fills.
Mm-hmm.
12
Is-
is the whole desk area.
Gotcha.
I don't know what 13 is. Oh, 13 is just our ghost. That's what it is. So that's your group faders.
Mhm.
So you could use them quickly to get things up in a pinch in
Mhm.
groups. And then once you have those groups up, right, remember you can always go into your intensities and manipulate things individually. So anything you do manually will override what your faders are doing
Okay.
until you clear it out. Your cues is where you're going to live, I think, 90% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's your individual faders for each fixture, and then your 2 preset scene looks for your podcast and
Mhm.
for your desk,
Right.
and then your color temperature control for global color temperature. The faders do work in what we refer to as HTP, meaning that we recorded this scene for the desk with our backlights in a amber or a CTO. Because this fader is down right now, it's going to look the way we expect it to. When I bring this fader up, it's
It
going to
pushes
override and push up that backlight. If you bring that fader down, it's going to restore it back. Right? So that's the highest takes precedence based on that color temperature value. If you bring this off, the lights are off. But if you bring this back down, right, this is no longer the highest level.
Mhm.
This is now going to restore it back to that warm backlight
Gotcha.
color.
Well, and vice versa. If you do this, then this becomes the opposite, where whatever I have up individually, this controls those.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
What's this?
That's our fixture faders. Not hyper useful for you all because your channel numbers are so spread out.
Oh, I
Right.
see. Gotcha.
Yeah, if we had condensed everything into channel 1 through 20
Mhm.
instead of the address number,
Mhm.
then this would be an individual
I see.
fader for your
So
fixture.
most of the time, we're going to live in the queue function,
Yep.
where we have access to all those.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Grandmaster and blackout.
Mm-hmm.
So this is going to be the Grandmaster control.
On-off switch.
It's an inhibitive though, right? So if this is at 50%, the maximum intensity, even though this is telling it to be a full, right? It's 50% is your maximum intensity.
Gotcha.
Blackout will black out your room. It's a temporary button.
Mm-hmm.
No, this is not the double tap. All right, and,
Okay.
and that's that with your Grandmaster. The action menu here. So we talked about it to delete things. You use the trash bin. Renaming things. So if you wanted to go, there's no digital fader here, and you can see because we've matched them 1-to-1. We can see that this is our soft left, left center, right. You could rename those faders if you wanted to. What you're probably going to want to do, maybe, is on your layouts. Let's say you don't want this to be called green screen. You could rename it to blue screen, right? If that were to change. But that's where you would rename any of your different objects.
Any action button.
Using the action button.
Okay.
Release all turns all of your faders off. So clear clears your manuals. If I said go to full or used my intensities and color, clear blacks all that out. But if I use my faders to start turning things on, and you want to release all of your faders, release all will release all of your faders. They're not motorized, so you do need to bring them back down.
Gotcha.
But that's like your...
And then once you've released them and brought them back down, are they then re-triggered?
Yes, correct.
Whenever they match the whatever you told it to release, then you bring the fader bar down, and then you have control of it.
Correct. You do have in studio mode a queue stack, right? So this is multiple queues in a sequence. So you could say, for example, we have our podcast look. I want to record this. I'm going to hit my button here. It's going to create a new queue here on my main. Then I'm going to bring up my second queue, record. I'm going to hit my button here, and it's in studio mode. It doesn't do that, does it?
Never mind.
Never mind. That's just another fader.
Studio
for
mode
us.
is really different than.
It really is.
So basically, you're saying these three knobs for me.
Don't do
nothing.
anything.
It's all on. Have fun.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, cool. What else? Anything else you can think of? I'm not rushing you. I'm just.
No. I'm saving files and loading files.
Oh,
so
and then we get the. We need a flash drive.
we're really happy with where. Yes. Yeah, we'll need a flash drive.
And when we get that flash drive, are we? Is it a flash drive that is holding a file, or does it have to be dedicated to this particular
It's
unit?
just holding a file on it. It does not need to be dedicated. So I'm going to go through two things. First, we'll go through the file menu. This is where we would save the show itself to the console. So in the file menu, we'll save our show. It's going to go ahead and...
When you say for save our show, the setup of the board right now, is that what you're calling it?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. And that saves it to the console using the existing file name.
Okay.
Save show as is going to allow us to put it into the console, but we're going to change the file name. So we're going to call this January 2026, first show file of the year. And that's going to save it into the root directory of the console. When I go ahead and do that, it automatically changes my show file name. Then I'm going to do backup show to USB. I've got mine in there. I will save that first.
And I actually have a couple. I want to save it on two of them, and then I will save it other places as well.
Sure. So that's that. That's good for mine. When you don't have a flash drive in there, you can't save it to a USB.
Okay.
Great. Back up. You want it to go to the root and just hit enter. and it's done. So you can pull it out.
There's no like exiting it or
No
what do you call
eject
it?
or
Yeah,
anything.
eject, right.
No. Good. Yep, enter. And it's done.
Well, cool. Okay.
And then, so let's say if you send it in for repair and it comes back, or they send a loader board, so then
To
you
reload
just
it,
do the
how
same
do
thing where
You plug it in.
Load show.
Mm-hmm.
It would right now it's looking on the console.
Sure.
If you have a drive in there, it should show up on the top here. So that's my drive. You would select the one you would want, hit open, it would load the file, and
Cool.
it should just work.
Awesome. What else we got in here?
So if you do connect an external monitor,
Mm-hmm.
well, this is where you would take yourself out of studio mode. So if you go into settings,
Mm-hmm.
your show settings, don't change your access levels. You'll get yourself into trouble. You're an administrator. Everyone's an administrator.
Oh.
If you were in a nightclub, it would be different. But you're in studio mode. Changing this mode will change the way these faders function. So you want to maintain studio mode.
Do I need to make, like you said, everybody's an administrator. Do we need to change that?
If you change it, you won't be able to make changes to the
Oh, I see.
file.
Gotcha.
Right.
Okay.
So
I see.
that's why I joke. It's like you do it in a nightclub because your bar staff shouldn't be changing the configuration
Right.
of your lighting console.
Yeah, gotcha.
You're not connected into a network, so you don't have anything to deal with from the network side here.
Mm-hmm.
You have one DMX port that's configured,
Mm-hmm.
but your external monitor here in the console settings. So by default, if you were to plug a HDMI cable into the monitor
Mhm.
port here, it would be your layout. And then you could plug a mouse and a keyboard, and then you have a mouse and a keyboard you could click and interact with that layout.
Interesting.
There are other screens that you
Uh-huh.
could add there. So you could have an additional page of faders that's virtual for more cues,
I
more
see.
scenes.
Mm-hmm.
And you could lay that out there. You could also put what's called the output screen. So if we go home and I go to outputs, what this is it's a consolidated version screen of what your fixtures are doing. So you can actually see if I bring up fader 1, channel 1 is being controlled by fader 1 right now. If I bring up fader 20, the color for all of those fixtures is being controlled by fader 20. If I bring up 19, well, I can scroll through, you can see all of my desk, my intensity is coming from 19, my color is coming from 19. But remember what I said before, highest takes precedence.
Mm.
Now that color is
Mhm.
coming from 20, my intensity is coming from 19.
Hmm.
So it's, if you're like, when you start building scenes that have multiple groups of fixtures and multiple types of parameters, this can be a useful screen to see why are things not acting the way I expect them to.
Gotcha.
How are my faders interacting with each other? This is a really good
Interesting.
troubleshooting screen
Cool.
for that.